This video is all about the paint tool in Revit. And no, we're not only going to be using it to make things look nice, we're also going to be covering all of the workarounds and all of the limitations, as well as documenting everything properly for our schedules. Let's go. Now, quickly, before we jump into Revit, I would just like to ask you to check out my website, balkanarchitect.com. I'm going to be linking it up in the cards above and then also down in the description of this video. If you're serious about learning Revit, that's definitely the best place to be, with over 140 hours of content dedicated to all of the interesting and complex topics inside of Revit. Now, without any further ado, let's jump straight into Revit. And here we are in Revit. As you can see, I have my project 2 from our beginner course, and I'm going to be using this as the demonstration model. So the paint tool is located on the Modified tab, and here under Geometry, we have the paint tool. So it works really simple. You just click on the paint tool. It will then bring up your material browser. So all of the materials you have loaded into your project, and then you can just pick one of those. So for example, if I pick this push button, yellow material, what I can do is I can come to any surface in my model, and it's going to highlight that surface. So for example, here, I don't want this upper face of the floor, I want the front face, so I'm just going to use the tab key a few times. I highlight the face, see how it highlights in blue, I click, and it basically turns this yellow. So that's how you apply the paint tool. Now, of course, you can do this for multiple faces, just like that. Now, at any point, once you're done, you just click here on Done, and it's going to close off that menu. And if you're not happy with where the materials have been applied, you can always remove that paint by going back to the Geometry panel, back to the paint tool, but opening up the little drop menu here and clicking on Remove Paint. So now I can simply remove paint from these surfaces, and then let's say I want to leave this one, so I'm just going to hit the Escape key a couple of times. Now, as you've noticed here, when we've started the paint tool, we've gotten some materials, and yeah, we do have a decent library here, but let's say we're not happy with any of the ones that are represented here. So what we can do in that case is close this down, go to the Manage tab and find the Materials button. This will open up the material browser, and then here you can search for additional materials in your libraries on your computer, or you can create new materials, you can load in or open up existing libraries, so on and so forth. You can also select any of the existing materials. So let's say I want to find this yellow material. I think it was called push button. There we go. I can select it, go to Appearance, and then I can alter its color to pink, for example, hit Apply, OK, and now this color has turned to pink. Of course, I could have created new materials that would then appear over here in the material browser when I start the paint tool. Okay, now let's exit out of here and cover another really important topic, which is which categories work with the paint tool. So you'll notice that it does work with floors and walls and their faces. If I select it again, so if I go here to the paint tool, you can see I can highlight the face of this wall, but let's say I want to highlight this door handle. Well, it doesn't work. It doesn't select or highlight the face of this door handle. Same thing goes here for this curtain wall mullion. So those don't work. If I go to this family here on the inside, again, it's not going to highlight that face, even if I hit the tab key a few times. So it is going to work with some categories. Mainly, it's meant to be used with walls, floors, roofs, and so on. It will even work with railing if you wanted to. So I can just select this face of the railing, and yeah, it is going to work with certain railing elements, but as I said, it's not going to work with everything. Now, let me show you something a bit more interesting. So I'll escape out of here. I'm going to select just the building itself, and then let's create a section box just like that. And I'm going to cut into the model a little bit just to reveal the staircase. So just like that. So here we have the staircase, and what you'll notice is that for the staircase, if I go to the paint tool, I'm able to select or highlight the face of the stair, but because I have applied this finish as a tread, it's not going to allow me to paint that. So what I would need to do in this case, if I wanted to paint the staircase, I would have to select the staircase, and then I would have to edit it. So let's do that. So I'm just going to select the stair, go to edit type, go to run type, and then just turn off the treads and risers, hit apply, okay, apply, okay. So there we go. We're back to kind of just concrete stair. Let's just expand this a bit more, like that. Perfect. Okay, so now once we basically have a stair, a concrete stair without those finished materials applied, I can use paint and just apply paint to some of the steps, let's say every other step, and then every other step is going to be wood, like this, and then you can add a third material for the risers and so on. So you can do something really interesting with the paint tool. Also, another situation where I think the paint tool is crucial is when it's used on beams. So you might have a beam like this, but you don't want to have exposed concrete. Well, you can paint it just like this by using the paint tool. We usually don't have any other tool in Revit that would cover a beam. We could use walls or in-place components, but that's just annoying and takes time. So I think just using the paint tool is really, really powerful. Okay, so let's now turn off the section box and let me show you something else. So the paint tool is really powerful and it can paint an entire surface, but what if you only want to paint a part of a surface? Well, that's why I like using the paint tool in conjunction with the split face tool. So the SF is shortcut for split face. You can select this tool and basically select any face like this wall face down here. Then I can zoom in. As you can see, it just highlights the face. Here we have the boundary of that, and you can use regular draw tools in order to draw any shape on this face, and that's going to basically split that face. So let me show you. If I create a circle over here, just like that, hit finish. There we go. Okay, so we have a circle on this wall face. Well, then I can go to the paint tool and I can apply a different paint to this surface. Hit the escape key a couple of times. Now this isn't a separate wall, it's the same wall, it only split the face, so we can apply a different paint on top of that face. So that's how we can get a little bit more creative with the paint tool. Now finally, let's talk about documentation, because in Revit, just because something looks nice doesn't mean it works. We need to document it properly. Well, for the paint tool, we can actually document all of the paint used by going here to the View tab, and if you create a schedule, so that will be a Material Takeoff schedule. If you create this, and let's say we go with walls and click OK, what you'll notice here is under materials, we have material as paint. So if you add this category, it's going to include all of the materials that were used as paint on any of the walls that we have inside of our model. So any time you've used the paint tool, it's actually going to document the actual quantities of the paint used for those surfaces, which is really, really important. Okay, so that's going to conclude this quick tutorial on the paint tool in Revit. Thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to check out my website, balkanarchitect.com, for more Revit courses. There I have over 120 hours of content, and I'm adding more each week. Make sure to subscribe for more videos, and also I've added a video over there that might interest you as well.